Hi, babies. I wanted to do a little hype message, a little more uh, fun message, if you will, because the last few videos I've done have been a bit intense with the energy, so I wanted to be like a little hype thing. So, this is a general message, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Use your intuition. If it doesn't align with anything, then it's not your message. It's timeless, so whenever you find it, it's meant for you at that time. Okay, so the first song that I got on shuffle was Lilith by Elise. And it says, comfortable enough to think you'll take her, but when she smiles, all her teeth are made of razors. She doesn't care about your words or how you'll save her. Where she comes from, there's no saviors. Worry about what you got yourself into. She doesn't like it when you tell her that she's sinful. You better watch your back because she can see right through you. Knows exactly how she'll kill you. Face like an angel, but she's far from that. She makes up her own rules, but she never looks back. She does as she pleases. She knows that you need it. Make you cry, no point in hiding. She loves the sight, fear in your eyes. She does as she pleases. She knows that you need it. Cloudy skies, and she doesn't mind. She's from the fires. Plan your demise. She does as she pleases. Don't even try. You'll never understand her. Waste of time trying to decipher her demeanor. Losing your mind. She'll never follow your commands. Her heart is frozen, full of anger, face like an angel, but she's far from that. She makes up her own rules, okay. So what I'm getting from that message is, so this is like a hype message. So this is how like you're important in this journey, like how you make a difference for people. Just what makes you important right now? Like what about your energy or your presence makes you important? And so with this song in particular, I did 2 songs for this, but this one is, sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm getting that people have seen what you've been through, and they see how dynamic you are, that you can be beautiful and angelic and yet harsh and intense, and they can't quite grasp what you are or who you are, but they know what you've been through, because it says where she comes from, there's no saviors. So you are self-made. You saved yourself. You weren't able to depend on others through what you've been through. And it shows that you aren't codependent. You're strong within yourself, and you have confidence. And because you're so different and they can't quite grasp you, because they try to put you in this box, and it says comfortable enough to think you'll take her. So they think like, oh, I can have this person, like I can trick them, I can, do whatever. Or, someone's witnessing you dealing with like someone that likes to lie a lot and like mess with people and manipulate people. Someone's witnessing you this way, and you've got this like, oh, like angelic face, like, what do you mean by that? And you come off as naive because you're kind and big-hearted, but then you just completely destroy this person, just with your smile, just with like something you say. Because when she smiles, all her teeth are made of razors. She doesn't care about your words or how you'll save her. And so people try to project onto you like, oh, you need me, or you know what I mean? Like, they try to come at you like, oh, I need to protect you because you're naive, or one thing in particular that's happened to me is like people have told me that I need to quit joking the way I joke with people because it gets me in trouble, and that's why guys are creepy to me. Like it's my fault. um when in fact, like, it's like I can handle my own. I'm nice, and I am nice to people, but yeah, uh freaking weirdos are going to be weirdos no matter what I say or do. I could just exist and people can be weird. um Worry about what you got yourself into. Yeah, and be with that, you you're a force to be reckoned with, because these people think they can take you, and you just come in with like, no, 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 yeah, you you want to come at me like this, all right. I've been kind and innocent and naive up until this point, and here I am. You bring I just can't hopefully the word comes to me, but you the best way to describe it is like a stuffed animal that has like a rattlesnake in it. Like I don't know, like you just like a like a little puppet mouth opens and then a little rattlesnake comes out and bites. Like you're you have this like cute, outward, loving, you have a big heart, and but you can stand your own ground, and you look cute doing it. You look hot doing it. You look innocent doing it. And it's so confusing and perplexing to people. And people that haven't quite stepped into their power yet witness this, and they like are they admire it. Cuz you better watch your back, cuz she can see right through you. You can stay here with this cute little angelic innocent face, and you're really kind to people, and you like let them lie to your face, and you're like, yes, interesting, yes. And you're like, all right, how am I gonna call this person out, or how? And it's not that you're planning in a malicious way or anything. You just know that you listen to your intuition and your guides on how to like bring this, like help these people like face their shadow, and bring this out to the surface and expose things. Face like an angel, but she's far from that. She makes up her own rules. She never looks back. You're just authentically you, and that's why you're so important. And people that you're around with your energy, they want to be their authentic selves too, because you're a little weirdo. You're you are okay with being awkward at times, and cringy, or however you want to say it. Like, I'm weird and awkward and dirty. I'm a creepy little human, like you accept it. When people try to like tear you down, or like point out your flaws, or something you did, like you trip over some like your shoelace or something, or you trip on nothing, and someone has to like be like and you're like, yeah, that was pretty funny. And then that person feels ridiculous, because they're like, like, because they wanted you to feel insecure, but you know yourself so well, and you trust yourself, that it's inspiring, and it brings out other people's shadows that are choosing not to do the work, and it it actually helps them eventually face their shadow and do this work and become more confident in just being their self, being their awkward, cringy selves. Make you cry, no point in hiding, which that, just like I said, like you bring out people's shadows and you expose it, and kind of like it's almost like a little embarrassment. You accidentally embarrass people by just being yourself, because they want to like tear you down, and like because they think you think like them. when in fact, that's not the truth. She loves the sight, fear in your eyes. She does as she pleases. She knows that you need it. Cloudy sky, she doesn't mind. You are open and comfortable with the dark parts of yourself. Like an example would be like you like you laugh at okay, like if someone brings up your past and you're like, yeah, I used to be a piece of shit. Like, yeah, I used to be a fucking asshole. And you're like, yeah, I used to do that. And I used to be a fuckboy, whatever. And like, but people tried to like get you to be defensive about it. And you're like, nah, you laugh at yourself. You can be okay with the mistakes you've made in the past. And, it just freaks people out because waste your time. Don't even try. You'll never understand her. Waste of time trying to decipher her demeanor. Losing your mind, she'll never follow your commands. These people just try to like trigger you and because they know if that happened to them, they would be insecure. And so they try to do that stuff to you and you're just like, yeah, okay. Well, whatever, man. Like, yeah, I used to be a real piece of shit. I don't fucking care. Like, I'm better now. Like, that's not me. Or, like just trying to get embarrassed or, you had food in your teeth and this person tried to like make you feel insecure about it. And you're like, oh, yeah, shit. Okay. Well, thank you for telling me. Like, oh, well. And they just like can't, like, they get mad. But it's because you're reflecting back to them how they can heal. And eventually they observe you in that way because you are leading by example with your energy and with your frequency, that they start being okay with being themselves. You're a leader of confidence in just being who you are, being your awkward, human, weird little self. And it's triggering and admirable at the same time. Yeah, you know what I meant. Okay. Then the next song I got was House of Gold. The sky opened up the day you were born. Like, how, bro, like this is how important you are. This is how you make a difference for people. The sky opened up the day you were born. Like, fucking angels, like, you're just a fucking angel. Like, you are just this beam of light. The clouds fucking parted. And, oh, you just bring this light, because you are this spiritual leader, just by being yourself, you help people raise in vibration by accepting themselves. Because it says, the sky opened up the day you were born. I was so lost, broken, and torn. You're a beacon of light because people know that you've been through some shit. They know, and yet, like the last song, the Lilith, there's no saviors. You've overcome so fucking much. And people see this and they're in the same exact, or even like not even as bad as what you've been through situation. And they just watch you and they're like, you know what? If this person can get through it, I fucking can. Like, I can do this. Somebody, like, you were this leader of how to get through shit and how to overcome things. There was no hope, no joy in my life. Ended my darkness by bringing the light. You are a beacon to these people. As I fought through the flames, now you save me. You help people through their dark night of the soul because you went through it like way earlier than all of the others around you. You've had like just a hard life, but you've kept this like sunny disposition through it all. You may have projected upon people in the past and overcome these like toxic traits and shit. Excuse me, I keep burping. You've overcome like all of these things and you've accepted like, yeah, I used to be a fuckboy. I used to be a real manipulative asshole. Like, all this stuff, and you're open about it. You're like, this is how I was taught to survive as a kid, was by being this way. And oh, someone's hammering. So ooh, okay. So you got a lot of people like knocking at your door, like wanting answers of like, how did you do this? How did you, they look to you for guidance, for support, for all of these things, because they see that you kept this light, this innocence about you, even through it all. You didn't come out calloused. Ended my darkness by bringing the light. As I fought through the flames, now you save me. You're helping people, because when you're in this spiritual journey, this dark night of the soul, you walk through the fucking fire. And it hurts. It hurts to see who you were, who you are, what you've done, how you've been toxic, what you've experienced, or, you know, what has hurt you, your trauma, facing all that icky stuff. And yet you stayed chipper and sunny and positive about life through that. And people are like looking to you for answers. They're coming to you because they see that you're okay. And you could even, you know, you're still, we keep going through challenges over and over and over again, because that's part of life. There is no, that's the dichotomy of life. There's challenge and joy and ease. So you never truly appreciate, you know, true love without being hurt, or, you know, darkness without the light, as a perfect, you know, cliche example. Ended the darkness. As I fought through the flames, now you save me. You give me a reason to feel like I belong here because of your confidence, and you give people like meaning, because they just see that you're so important, and you're this leader, and you're humble, and you're welcoming, and you see the divinity in every person, and you can, that's a common ground, and you connect on that. And it, even when people are in this super yucky dark night of the soul shit, and you bring this joy and this love to them, that gives them a reason. They're like, you know what, this is what life is about. Connections like this. Even if you just, a passing in the grocery store where you say hi and you give this friendly face because you just felt like it. You listened to your intuition and smiled at a certain person. That's all you did. And that was your purpose in that moment. That quick little thing was your purpose, because maybe that person was feeling suicidal that day. And you just listen to your intuition. You're like, you know, I'm going to fucking smile at this person. I don't know. I'm going to like turn around and like make eye contact and be like, you know, not be like a psychopath like I just did, but you know what I mean. I've been building this house made of gold. Darling, have no fear. Yeah, I pushed through the rain and the cold, and I forgot all the pain that I've known. Yeah, you give me a reason to feel like I belong here in this house made of gold. You're just so loved, and you bring this like air of abundance around you because of this like heavy shit you've been through, and you're like this diamond in the rough. I pushed through the rain and the cold. You give this like feeling of, you know, just being, the best way to describe it is when you're riding in the rain on your motorcycle. Of course I have to go there. And you, like, if you ride and it's freaking cold, like you just get chilled to the bone because it's windy, it's raining, like it just pushes that cold through you, and it takes a really long time to warm up, but it feels so freaking good when you get inside and get your clothes off, like the cold, wet clothes, and like even just like 65 degrees Fahrenheit feels like just super hot and warm, and you're like, oh, you're like melting in it. It just feels good. Even though it's really not that warm, it just feels better than you were like getting chilled to the freaking bone. You bring this to them, this warmth, this light, this abundance, even if it's not like monetary, like physical abundance. It's this like energetic abundance of like, you know what, I'm gonna be okay. Look at the, like, you, just the way you are, and they see in your eyes what you've been through, and yet you have this like joy, this positivity about you. Even when you're in a shit mood, there's still like this, I'm gonna get fucking through it, fuck it. Like, yeah, you give me a reason to feel like I belong here in this house made of gold. Like you said, like I said, this abundance you bring. Daylight sang from the sky and burned through the violence inside my mind. Your eyes, your infinite eyes. See, they see everything. You have experienced everything. Your infinite eyes, your innocence shines. See, even though you've been through all this shit, you still have this innocence, this childlike air about you, this like, what's gonna happen next? Oh, I wonder, oh, let's go skip at the park. Like, it's just weird stuff like that. Like, you are into your inner child, like you let it out and you play and you have this fun, like you've done the work of getting through what you've gone through and come out better for it. Like you're grateful for your trials and tribulations that you've experienced. Your innocence shines, my shadows, they die. Gone is the wandering soul, once half a man, now my heart has come home, my heart, you'll never be apart. Like you, since you do bring out people's shadow and you like reflect back to them, but they observe you by like how you act and how confident you are, the shadows, they die. You help people integrate their shadows just by being yourself. And I can't quite pinpoint it, but it's like you've integrated so much and you're able to laugh at yourself and you're able to make fun of yourself in a like a non-shitty way, like, you know, just not a self-deprecating way, but like you can be like, yeah, I used to be a piece of shit, whatever. Like, you're okay with it. You're okay with your mistakes. You don't have this fear of failure and this innocence about you, this child like view of the world. Even though you've been through all this shit, you just help people get through their yucky stuff. Gone is my wandering soul, once half a man, now my heart. Like, you guide people. You're a freaking light. You hold this lantern for them as they follow you through the darkness. You're like, yeah, I've been here a few fucking times. All right, come on. Yeah, I'm familiar with the dark night of the soul. I've seen it 1,000 times. Like, you're very comfortable in that, and you help people through that. You have this lantern in it. You're like, yeah, this is some scary shit, right? You guide them. You hold their hand through it. Even just by existing. You may not even know that you're helping these people go through it, but just like you making fun of yourself and facing your fears and your insecurities and like letting people pick on you or like try to nitpick you and stuff like that, and you're like, hey, yeah, that's funny. Like rolling it off the shoulder like water off a duck's back. Like, you just staying with that and not getting your feathers ruffled helps people through their own dark night of the soul, because you're helping them lead them through. You'll never be alone. A paradise found. You are my true north. You are a light. You're a beacon. You're a ray of warm sunshine when it's freezing outside. You are my true north. You just guide people by existing. You don't even know this, but they watch you and they observe you, and they might be like super shitty to you, but even when you just let them talk shit to you or like try to ruffle your feathers, and the way you react and just let it go, you're like, yeah, okay, well, that was weird to say, but yeah, I used to be a piece of shit. What of it? Like, I used to be a drunk and do stupid shit. Yeah, I fell flat on my face just now. That was funny. Instead of like getting embarrassed, you guide them to this you're like a paradise for them. They're like, wow, this person like has no insecurities. They have done the fucking work. It may not be a conscious thing, but they watch you. They're like, how does this person move like this? And you're okay with that. As I fought through the feelings, you saved me. Give me a reason, darling, have no fear. Yeah, I pushed through the rain and the cold. In this house made of gold. Yeah, you're just an amazing person. And you give these people, you give them a reason to feel like I belong here. Like, you matter so much and you don't even know. You're just existing. You're just doing the work. You're focusing on yourself. Okay, you focus on yourself and that like triggers the shit out of people because you stay in your own fucking business and they're like, you know, they'll try to talk shit or get you to like gossip with them and you're like, okay, well, you know, fuck, I used to be a real piece of shit. Or yeah, you know, when you sign up for that things kind of happen like that. Like you have like a response to like help diffuse like shitty gossipy situations or like just low vibe conversations or interactions. You have this like perfect way of like diffusing it and people feel kind of yucky about themselves. They're like, yeah, was that kind of gross of me to talk about that? That it helps people like face their shadows and feel like kind of icky about themselves for a second and they're like, oh, but that was actually like really fucking chill of them to say that. So it's this weird like love-hate people have with you because they're like, damn, that person's like was really graceful about that, but they're like, fuck you, like you think you're better than me because you don't want to talk shit, like, and then like later on they're like following your lead. You help people face their shadows. I don't really feel the need to like pull anything, but some shit just flew out, so the damsel. Light attributes. Understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. Shadow attributes. Waiting for a knight to provide for you. Seduction by romantic illusion. So she's kind of like in a mirror. So I see that like the previous song, like people feel like they need to save you and like, oh, well, when you act like this, that's why people are creepy to you or like that type of stuff. But like you understanding that, yes, it is safe and okay to depend on people, but you also you've been through shit by yourself that it inspires you to rely on yourself. Yeah, so it's okay to have these interdependent relationships, but it's interdependent, not codependent. You understand that there are only certain things that you can do by yourself. And these other people like try to overpower that and save you because they see like your innocence. Which interestingly, on the bottom of the deck is student. Humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Shadow attribute, arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. They're both upright, so I'm taking the light attributes. But humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. That's why these people, like this innocence about you, your willingness to keep doing the work, the inner work, and you stay in your lane and you're like, okay, so I got kind of triggered when this person said it. You're at that point that you question yourself, like, why did I get triggered? Why did I do this? And you keep learning. You're humble enough to know that you still have stuff to work on and you can laugh at yourself. And in the triggering of that, people will watch you, and there's that arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. So they see this and they like ask you questions, like knocking at your door, like,